another Chaos Central production. Chaos List, starring my main man Nzo, 1/3 of the three-headed monster we call the Chaos Central crew. This intro is by this show, the Chaos List. I hope you like it, bro. Here we go. The Chaos List is the name of the show, and the name of the host you know is Nzo. If you say something crazy, dumb, stupid, or wrong, it's a one-way trip to the Phantom Zone to be like Nzo. Hold up, I didn't mean it. Guess what, son? Your ass should have seen it coming. Better watch what you say, just like the Mandalorian. And this is the way. Monday night, 9 o'clock. Second Monday of the month. This is the spot. So get ready. Strap on in. The crew is ready, so let's begin. So let's go.
What is up? What is going on? Welcome back, people. We are here. Chaos List has returned. Last week it was the chaotic conversation, and next week it will be the rule of three. Danny?
So if I don't end up doing the show next week, I've done fucked up again.
Yeah. And I think me and Danny are both expecting like a little, yeah, guys, I can't do the show this week. Can we do it? Can we do it on Thursday? Text. So we never know.
I can't even do that. I can't do that for that one because you guys have been on time. Like we talked about this, I think, in early April, getting back to it. But it wasn't until Sunday last week that I said, hey, are we doing this tomorrow? And Danny was right on it. So you're right on it. If I don't do it, something's wrong.
Well, it wasn't the two brothers on the top why it stopped in the first place.
I never said it was. I
black
take
people time.
Facts.
It was the white boy. I know.
Danny, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Oh, you can find me on my channel on Mondays and Fridays at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I uploaded one this morning. You can also find me here on Mondays at 9 p.m. You can find me on Wednesdays on the Hangout and Sundays on Storms Live. Now we're going to 8 p.m. So that's
you moved back to 8?
Yep.
I got to move back to 8. I got you. Mr. Knight, where can they find you, sir?
You can find me here at Chaos Central. Right now, we got one more week of the Andor Roundtable. I know Danny and Nzo have reluctantly stepped out of that roundtable. They were so psyched to do it, but they both told me they had something better to do, like sleep, I guess. I don't know.
Watch paint dry.
I hear people going on about this episode 8, 7, 8, 9, and I watched 8, and I was like, okay.
Okay, so good. I'm glad you said that because Brian was like, oh, episode 8 was really good. Was it, Danny?
It's
I thought it was.
It's like when you walk in the middle of something, you don't really get the gist of it.
Yeah.
They had action and stuff, but I don't care what people say. I'm super. All I need is lightsabers, Sith, Jedi, Starship battle, and I'm good. All this other stuff I don't have to have, and I got that in Tales of the Underground, so I'm cool.
I got you. I didn't even watch that yet. Is it good, Danny?
It's good, man. It's 6 episodes, 3 on Asajj Ventress and 3 on Cad Bane.
Oh, really?
It's really good.
It's the same animation style as Rebels and the same animation style as Clone Wars.
And the Tales of the Jedi, that stuff. Yeah. It's really
I'll check it out. It's just for me, I'm like, when it comes to Star Wars stuff, I'm like, I'll get around to it when I will. Not exactly like how I used to do it. You know what I mean? David Quintana, Elihu-Who, thank you guys for popping up. He said, Elihu said, the Red Wedding was better than the Massacre. Oh, Elihu-Who, thank you guys for popping up.
I get a chance to watch this show called Mobland. I'm telling you, man, it is really it stars Tom Hardy,
Pierce Brosnan,
and what's Helen Mirren, whatever. All-star cast. It is up there, bro.
I got you. I don't know. I like the mob shows. I'll try it, but I can't. But there's one called Dope Thief. They're like, you should watch that. It's pretty good. I watched some of it. I just wasn't into it right now. But I'll definitely check it out because I'm not gonna say it's bad or anything without checking it out. So I'll definitely check it out. said, not sure where Andor knows where it's going. Yeah, they do, because we already know how it ends up. So we know exactly where they're going. What up, Tony Robinson? How you doing?
Yeah, you can find me here. My shows on the Real Review 3000. We'll be getting back to the Rumble, a weekly wrap up, possibly the Gospel According to Chris. Those will be coming back here before too long. Still working on some of that stuff. Name That Tune over on Hanstar YT's channel, stuff like that. So we're gonna get back to all that stuff again. So
Tony said, "Good, because Tom Hardy needs a win right now." Yeah, I feel you, but I mean, people hated on his Venom movies. They weren't that great, but they weren't as bad as a lot of people said they were.
I thought the Venom movies were better than Thunderbolts.
Ooh,
it's it's doing really well. I mean, it's probably going to make its money.
I'm happy for it, but
so guys, we gotta. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think I may watch it for free, but other than that, I won't pay to go see it again. But guys, we got a great show for you today. And, for those of you that used to watch us on Rob Storm, at one point we used to do this little debate thing. You know what I mean? We did it a couple episodes. I figured we're going to try and bring that back. We're going to do a little debate here today. It's going to be Danny versus Chris next week. Our next show will be me versus Chris, and then the last one will be me versus Danny. I already have what I want to do with Chris. I don't actually have what I want to do with Danny yet, but trust me, I can find something. That's not going to be
I know what you can do with Danny. No. You're giving me this one against him. I think you should take the Revenge of the Sith and
Empire. Yeah, that was a thought. That was a thought. 100%.
I think you should take that one. I think you should have that.
Definitely a thought. That was definitely a thought.
You do it, bro.
So we're gonna have a debate. It's gonna go for a few rounds. So the first round, they're gonna have 5 minutes each to do their opening statements. Second round, they will have a chance to counteract what each other says. And then the third round, we're going to open it up for questions. I got a few questions. The chat, if you got questions, I'll ask them. And then if Chris has a question, you can ask Danny. Danny can ask a question, answer that. And I guess we'll get the chat to vote and see who comes up on top. So definitely going to be an interesting one to do. We're going to spin the wheel to see who gets to start.
Oh, look at this. Look who got the wheel. The wheel returns on something other than my show.
The wheel does return. Absolutely. And we are going to spin, and where it stops, nobody knows.
I don't think the wheel even knows at times. Uh-oh.
Mr. Knight has to start off the debate. So again, guys, it will be the opening round, and let me actually, which one did I want to use? It was this one. No, not this one. No, this one. And then Chris is going to start. We will have 5 minutes for your opening statements, and I will start my timer in a second. Hold on. Should have had this shit ready, but unfortunately, I did not. Let's go with stopwatch. Okay, Chris, you ready?
Mm-hmm. Your time begins now. So I'm taking the side of the traditional movie experience, which is going out and seeing it at a movie theater, things like that. And I think it's the better thing because it's not just a matter of nostalgia, but as a superior, more meaningful way to watch films. Movie theaters offer unmatched immersion. Basically the massive screens, the world-class sound. You will not get the sound that you get at a theater anywhere else. It's free from the distractions of everyday life. So you get out of your house, you get away from what you know every day, and you can go out, and it's that escapism of it. It's not just about the entertainment, though. There's a lot of mental health well-being involved in it, too, because you're out in a social environment. I know a lot of people who are not socially... they don't have a social life, and by not having a social life, it really affects personal life. It affects their enjoyment of everyday things, and that human connection that you have, the interactions that you have with people enjoying the movies. Certain movies, people joke. They yell at the screen. They joke with the screen. They tell the guy, "Hey, Don't go in there. That's where the killer's at. I mean, you get unforgettable moments and social experiences when you go out to the movies. The theater provides a chance to truly unplug, reset emotionally, and it's a chance to share the stories with others in real time. You don't get that at home. And in a world that's increasingly dominated by isolation and screens at home, the movie theater reminds us that the art is meant to be experienced together, not separated from people. So let's not underestimate that collective magic that you get from the movie experience. That's my opening statement.
All right. Excellent. All right. Danny's is up. And Danny, I will let you go when you're ready. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Your time starts now.
I'm not going to disagree with some of the statements that Chris made. Definitely, it's probably going to be a better sound system than what you get at home. Not necessarily, it's depending on your what class you're in. The more wealthier probably can have a better or equal to sound system, and some middle class probably can have some too, depending on what part of the country you live in. I'm going to push back a little bit on the social interaction, because most of the time you go with a group, sometimes you go by yourself, and if you're engrossed in the movie, you're not going to have social interaction with other people because you're focused on the movie. You may have the occasional outburst when you see something that is exciting or something that's funny, but you can have that same experience at home, i.e. Super Bowl parties. You can invite your friends over. You can have that same immersion experience that you have at the game or watched it at a bar or whatever. Social doesn't necessarily mean the place you're at. It means wherever you're at with the people that you like, that you enjoy, that you interact. You can get that same fix being at home as well. I've done it plenty of times here in my man cave. Me and my son, my daughters, whoever I invite over, we get that same experience that we have in the theater. One thing that the theater cannot even come close is comfort. You can sit in your most comfortable chair at home. You can sit on the floor. My grandson sit on the floor. They sit on mats. Another experience is that the cost right now, inflation is at an all-time high, and the average theater cost is $11. You try to get a family of 5, and you multiply it times 5, that's $55. Not to mention the food and the drink and all that kind of stuff. Not to mention you driving to and from, depending on where you live at. Sometimes you can drive up to however many miles it is. It can be as much as one, as many as 101, depending on what you want to go. Now, if you want to go for another premium package and you talk about IMAX, you just doubled your price I just told you. The average IMAX theater is $25. And you do that time of family of 5, that's $125 plus the food. But if you have it at home, you have a little bit more cost-effective way to enjoy the food. Enjoy the movie, and you can have whatever you want, not what somebody just has there for you. Candy, you can have pizza, you can have buffalo wings, you can have whatever that you want to prepare for that particular movie that you can't necessarily get at the theater. And also the quality of movies is going down. So if I pay, let's say $12, $11, I'm kind of on the hook that I just spent that money. But if I go to my house and I put on a movie that I don't particularly like, I can delete that bad boy and go to the next one and find one I do like. It's more variety. You're not on the hook if it's a movie that you think it sounds good or looks good because you heard your friend say it, but then you start playing it and you don't like it. So I definitely think, without a shadow of a doubt, that the home theater experience is the more economical, it's more comfortable, and it's more versatile viewing experience.
Excellent. All right, that was the opening round, guys, and I think both of these guys did a great job. You know what I mean? We will get into the question period now. I'll let you guys start first before I ask my questions. So, Chris, do you have any questions for Danny?
Okay, you bring up comfort. I want to understand something here. Comfort at home, I get that, but don't they have pretty much the same type of recliners, big seats, and comfort? There are places where you can order dinner at the chair and watch it, and while you're being fed. I understand the price aspect of it, but again, I think for the price, you still get a much bigger bang for your buck for what you're doing. I think still, in general, movies offer quite a bit of bang for your buck. And I mean, I know my experience is different from yours because I live in a bigger city and it's closer to me because I know you have to travel. But if the convenience is there and it's close by, the comfort isn't necessarily any different. It's just it's there. And I still think that full immersion makes it better. So why is it that the full immersion experience isn't worth the out of house experience?
It was my bad. It was my bad because this is supposed to be counter, not questions. So you said that, but yeah, go ahead, Danny.
Okay, well, no. Okay.
I'll say the full immersion is good if it's a particular movie or product that you want to see. I have no doubt, but not every movie that you're going to see is something that you will be fully immersed in. And to me, when you say comfort, if I want to, I can watch any movie I want to in my bed. You can't have that at home. If I want to walk around in whatever I want to wear, I can do that. If I want 10 people over to watch this movie, and I pay the monthly subscription, and maybe let's just say, for instance, $60, then I can comfortably afford to pay for my family, another family. However, you can't do it with the movie experience. Also, one of the things I hear from several moviegoers is that they have phones and people are talking and that kind of stuff. It irritates. It's a whole different ball game if you're at your home and your son or your daughter does that. You can say, hey, put that up or go to your room. But you can't do that because if you do that now, there's a good chance that you might be in a fight or shot. We have seen many places where there's a lot of violence at these places. Last time I checked, it's not balanced at my house. I don't know about that if you watch the movie, but and there's a safety aspect of it. If there's numbers that I pulled, and one particular survey says that I want to make sure I say it right before I. 78% of Americans watch movies from home. 44% say the reason they do it because of the cost. 47% of people say they do it because of comfort. 9% say they do it because of movie variety. 4% says safety concerns. 4% says fewer disruptions. And this came from a census from a place called the numbers.com. Mm-hmm. So there are numbers out there that agree with what my statement is that it's comfort, it's cost, safety, more variety. I'm not set on a particular schedule. I can watch that movie at my leisure. If something happens, an emergency happens, and I'm not getting up out the movie, losing my money, I can stop it, pause it, come back. You can't do that at a movie theater.
Okay, well, all right. So who's going to do rebuttals first, me or him?
So you could rebuttal that, and then I'm going to ask Danny if he has a question for you.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. So comfort doesn't necessarily equal quality. You mentioned movie variety. We have to take that out because we're talking about movie theater. Movie theaters have new movies. Okay, so we're taking you can't bring in something that the movie theater does not offer. I don't think. I'm just going by the way I understood this argument to be. But if you want to bring in variety, it's still not the same experience. I'm sorry. I don't think, even with all the stuff I have, I can't create the same movie experience. I've got projectors. I can go outside on the side of a mall and put it up on the screen and put the screen up. It's still not the same. It doesn't give you the same comfort, the AC, all that. Better drinks. I'm sorry. I mean, I like a pop from any place other than home. I mean, you get this, it's not the same as it is at the movie theater. But the cheaper, it's a weaker experience. So, of course, it's cheaper. You're paying because they're trying to keep the technology up. The technology is always going to be farther ahead than anything you have. 4K, 8K, anything. They're always ahead of that. IMAX is still going to be one of the best experiences you can ever have. And again, I understand that because of where you live, it may be a little harder. But I think for people in general, it's a better experience if you can get to it earlier. You bring up the numbers and stuff like that. I mean, if you look hard enough online, you're going to find numbers to support anything. So, I mean, is some of that true? Sure. Safety, I think that just depends on where you're at. And maybe it's also social awareness. I don't know. I don't go to every movie. The movie experience is exactly that. It's an experience. It's there for the right moment. And most people know the movies they want to go see. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. But for the most part, I also know that I don't remember my kids talking about any movie they watched at home with me. My son just the other day said, "Hey, can we go see Thunderbolts?" He asked me to go to the movies because he wants to go to the movies. Those experiences with me, with his father, are important to him. The times we watched Wonder Woman 84 at home on HBO Max, those things, he doesn't talk about that. He likes the moments we go out to see these movies. Whenever I've taken him to see a Star Wars movie, those experiences he remembers. I think the memory of it is much better when you go out and you make a kind of a spectacle about it. The pause any time argument, it's less focused. I mean, I know this from watching movies at home. I can watch it, pause it, go back to it, come back to it, go back and forth, but I'm going to miss the whole message of the movie. I'm going to have to go back and watch it 2 or 3 times to really get the feel of it. And I understand you may not get to see the full movie at the movie theater, but we have the movie theaters here that will not let you have a phone out. If they see your phone out, they will remove you. There's no talking. There are places here that are completely silent, great movie experiences. Again, I maybe again where I live, I have the option to go someplace where I don't have those distractions that other people talk about. Like you said, the controlling of the environment. You said distractions from phones and interruptions like that, just your kids and all that. Again, I know of theaters that take that out of the equation. There's actually a theater downtown that makes you lock up your phone outside of the theater.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but there's one, if you want to go and get that experience, you can get that experience. And then the families at home thing. Again, the moments in time with your children, with your grandchildren, things like that, those are experiences. That's the whole point. Kids remember those things. They remember the big screen moments. I remember the first time my father took me to see The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. I remember those things, and I'm 48 years old now. That was I was like 3 when I went to go see The Empire Strikes Back. 3, and I still do remember parts of that. I remember I was scared to death of the monster. And think about what the monster was back then. We're not talking about the CGI stuff or whatever they did for the redos. We're talking about just the way it was done. Those moments are only made at a theater. I don't think people walk away and talk about, oh, do you remember when that? Because the whole place shook. Like when Jurassic Park and the T-Rex comes, when you heard, before you could see it, when you saw that first little ripple, you felt that more than you saw that ripple. That you do not get that at home. I don't care how many subwoofers you have. I have tons of that stuff at my house. I will never get that experience.
Danny, you can counter and then ask your question to Chris.
Well, like I said in my opening argument, I won't dispute that you can get better sound quality in the theater. That's a no-brainer. But that's not necessary to still have an enjoyable experience. My grandsons, I have 2 grandsons that live with me, and they would rather have movie night in my living room with their mother than go to the theater with me. My oldest one will go with me because he's more of the kind of movies I like, but my youngest grandson, he loves to have movie night with his mom. They pitch the tents in the living room. They have little Cokes that they drink, little candies to simulate what they get at movie theaters, and that's the memories that they make. I don't prefer that. I prefer going to the theater with my grandson, but most of the time when times are tight, like times are now, when all these tariffs and people are making decisions. Do I want to buy eggs? Do I want to buy gas? Do I want to buy this? Do I want to buy that? Or do I want to go to the theater? And the numbers show that in 2002, moviegoers all over this country was about 1.5 billion ticket sales. Now, of course, COVID hit in January of 2020, and it dropped tremendously down to 219 million ticket sales. The next year, it bounced back a little bit, went to 414 million ticket sales. It went up a little bit more to 702. At the end of COVID, according to the World Health Organization, in May of 2023 is at 819 million ticket sales. And it's still not getting back to the 1.5 because people have adapted. Time to move on. People prefer now to experience some of the movies, not all of the movies, at their home because of the comfort level. Being in the profession that I am, it is much easier for me to watch a movie at home because if I get a phone call, a business phone call, then my phone call from my profession is more important than watching that movie, no matter how good the experience is. And I feel much more comfortable in not driving 100 miles like I got to go to if I want to watch an IMAX movie and paying $25 for myself, my grandson, my wife, other grandson, and my daughter, and wasting that money because I got to go to the job. Or I can be at home and stop it, pause, make a decision what I have to do, and go back to it. Now, will I miss a little bit of the, like you said earlier, will I have to go and watch it 2 or 3 times? I don't think so. I may have to back it up maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, get re-immersed in the actual the movie, but to watch it 2 or 3 times, I don't think I have to do that unless I like that particular movie. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and debate and argue that the movie experience is better for as visually and for as the audio. But I will say that's not necessary. And that right now we're in a flux. We're in a situation now where it is more reasonable. It is more cost effective. It is more practical to have that, especially depending on the number of your family members that you have, your social economic situation, your financial situation. Sometimes it's just easier. Sometimes it's just better. Sometimes you got to make that decision. Do I want to watch this movie or do I want to put gas in the car? Do I want to watch this movie and get that fantastic outer world body experience, hear the vibrations of the dinosaurs, or do I want to feed my family next week? So yes, the movie experience overall may be a better experience, but it's not necessarily a practical experience. And the more and more that I watch it at home, and the more and more I can do what I want to do for stopping. If I'm going to use the bathroom, me and Nzo have said it plenty of times, we got to pick and choose. I'm going to go here. And then sometimes I kind of force you to watch a second time, like I did Sinners, and make sure I went to the bathroom a different time. Mm-hmm. At home, I don't have that situation. I can go ahead and shoop, and don't miss anything. And yeah, you've been in that movie and you felt the vibration and you did all that kind of stuff and you felt fantastic, warm and fuzzy, but I saw the exact same thing that you saw. So when you talk about it, you see the exact same thing. Yours is a little bit louder, maybe a little bit clearer, but we still saw the same thing. We still get to the same end of the road. The movie was either fantastic or flop. Either we liked it or you didn't like it. So yes, is the movie experience a little bit better? Yeah, but it's not practical in today's time and in today's economics, in my opinion.
You guys are killing it. Do you have a question for Chris, Danny? Danny, do you have a question? Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
I'm trying to think. How would you feel, Chris, if you went to a movie that you play IMAX, and then I think IMAX is the most expensive movie, correct?
Probably.
And you really heard really good things about it. You drove, let's say, 50 plus miles, and you totally hate it. You didn't like it. There was people in there that this particular theater, not in Kansas City, but there were people talking. You were aggravated. It wasn't clean. A friend of mine, Robert Storm, just said he went to the theater just this last Sunday, and the person sat right beside him and smelled like whodunit. So if you had that same scenario, how would you feel versus if you stayed at home and had comfort, nobody with BO, nobody doing all this crazy stuff? So how would you feel if you went to that? You felt like, yes, it was a good movie, whatever, but I really couldn't get into it because of other people's.
So I feel like the movie experience is a thing where you need to pick your place. Have I gone first day? Yes, I have. Sometimes I will. But every theater around me has assigned seating, so I have a way to make sure that I'm not really going to sit next to anybody because I normally take my kids, and I normally have a way to basically make sure that I'm not going to sit next to somebody I don't want to. The idea of dirty, loud, messy, whatever, any of that stuff. Again, here I don't have that issue. There's plenty of places to pick where that is not going to be an issue. And I've gone to enough of these things to know that's not going to be an issue. So for my area, I have all the answers I need to stay away from that. And maybe, again, that's where I live. And Kansas City is not a big city, but it's a big enough city that we have those things. Plus, I also, and I will admit this, I have the pleasure of being at the world headquarters of AMC theaters. So all of the theaters around here are the nicest ones you will find. It's at the top level of everything that they would have across the world. And they do that because this is the world headquarters, and it's been here for 100+ years. And so maybe they're spoiling us. I don't know. I don't have to deal with those things. Now, back 20 years ago or so, sure, those things could happen. But I don't, like I said, I don't always go the first day of. If you don't want that, you can craft your experience to not get that. Like, for instance, I haven't seen Thunderbolts yet. I'm probably going to take my kids, but I know last week it was number 1. I know this past weekend it was number 1. I might wait another week and then go in the 4th week, because by that time everybody's going to have seen it and it's going to be quieted down. So I don't have to worry about those things. So I can craft my experience just like you can at home, in a sense. And again, when you add the ability to do that, and you add all the extras for what you get there, I think it makes sense. And again, I don't go to every movie because, yes, economically speaking, you're right. But that's another thing about this. The economics of it is you're helping support your local economy. You're helping the teenagers. It's a big teenager market for employee. Teenagers, that's one of the first places teenagers go to get a job. If we get rid of the movie theater experience, if we stop supporting that, we're going to actually start hurting our economy. This is a part of the world that has helped run the economy for many, many years. And so when you take this out, again, pick and choose when you want to go. Don't go all the time. You don't have to spend $2,000 a month on movies. But there's also lots of other options to get movie discounts through their loyalty programs. Every theater around here has a loyalty program that I know about. Many of them, I can pay $20 a month and I can see a free movie every week. So $20. If I go enough, and if I get tickets enough, I end up making points to get free food. I rarely spend more than about $20 or $30 when I go to the movie theater, and that's for like 3 people. So I mean.
I had a counter to something, or a question to something you said, where you said how you get to pick your seating, so you get to pick who you want to sit by, or if you don't want to sit anywhere. What do you do if the theater is packed, though?
I don't normally go in that test because I can craft my experience. If I have the yearning to go first day, I may not have that chance. But then again, I do every movie I go see, I get a picture of the theater. And I can then go through and pick out which seat I want. And I can go through all the times and see what they're doing. So lots of times what I do is I do it the day before the official release. And they don't normally tell you what theaters do that. So like the Thursday releases. And I'm sure, do they do that up there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mm-hmm. So they don't tell you if they're doing it. So you go to the theater, find that. And you'll find out it's like 2 or 3 different theaters, so it staggers it. And there'll be 2 or 3 showings that day. Normally the last showing or the first showing isn't always packed. And you can still get good seats and not have that issue. Plus, again, I may be stupid for doing this, but I had back surgery 18 years ago. And I can get a handicapped seat. So I do that. Normally it gives me a space next to me without anybody there. And gives me 2 seats next to me for my kids, and that's it. And so I like I said, I have a way of crafting my experience. Now, That isn't always the case. It doesn't always guarantee me that seat.
And I guarantee that, and I'll just say this too, because yeah, you're correct. But even when you go, you can't actually determine who's going to be buying the tickets after you to sit beside you unless you buy the tickets last minute. Right.
And sometimes that's how you do it. Like I say, there's ways to do it. Now, again, first day, premiere of a movie, you are absolutely right. You may not be able. But then again, what you do, you know what you do? You get 2 or 3 other people to go with you, and you force them to sit on the outsides. And then you put them next to the people that you don't want to sit next to. You can always craft your experience. The movie theater allows a lot of options around here. And again, I understand that with Danny, he's not right next to a bunch of theaters like I am. I mean, I'm probably 10, 15 minutes from like 12 different theaters. So.
All right. Danny, do you have anything to counter to that, or?
Yeah. 2 things I want to say. We live in a microwave society, which means you want things quick, fast, convenient. And some movies and with some packages, like I've told y'all, there's a particular thing that I have, and I can't see maybe the first night, but a lot of times a week later, 2 weeks later, I'm watching movies in the comfort of my home. They're not these kind of look all crappy. They are good quality movies because there's a word that you left out of your argument called evolution. At one time, there was 8-track tapes. And guess what? It evolved to cassette tapes. That evolved to CDs. And now that has evolved to Bluetooth. Cars now don't even have cassette players, don't even have CD players. So evolution is going to take over the theater experience. People are going to get that same, not that same visual and audio. I won't say that. Okay. They're going to be able to get video same day. It's coming. It's right around the corner. I'm not going to say how close it is, and I'm not going to say how expensive it or inexpensive it's going to be, but there is going to be a time, because you shaking your head, but there's a time when I thought we'd never be able to talk like we're talking now.
Hold on.
It would never happen. There's never time where everybody and their mama got cell phones, but it's happening. I'm not saying when it's going to happen. I'm saying it is going to happen. I don't know how. It may not be in our lifetime, but it's going to happen when we can just go there just like the Jetsons, just like Star Trek, and make all that kind of that is coming. Now, do I want it to necessarily happen? No, because I want to see Star Wars in the theaters. I want to see certain movies in the theaters because of that experience. But I'm saying right now, with the economy, where things are going, people are going to choose. They want to do this, they want to do that. It makes more sense to me. And I think in some movies that aren't that necessarily good, I would rather see it at home and not waste my gas, not waste my time, not walk out the theater and be like, I just wasted $25 that I could have used for a meal or pay a bill or this, that, and the other. So yes, I agree with some of your arguments, but for the most part, I'm going with practicality, and I'm going, if it's a movie that I'm not dying to see, I'm watching it at home.
I have a question for you. Okay, right. Evolution. Let's talk about evolution.
Okay.
Fine. A movie experience goes away. What makes you think that Hollywood and the people who make movies would ever take less money? If they're losing money or if they can't get money from the movie theater, they're going to charge you at home for that same day experience. Probably more than they would if you go out to the movie. And then you have no choice, because now that the movie experience doesn't exist, now that free market trade that we live by in the United States is no longer has a demand to go out. So then they say, fine, you're going to sit at home. We're going to charge you $120 to watch Sinners tonight, and you can only watch it between this time and this time. If you don't watch it in that same amount of time, because what they're going to do then is say you have 2 hours and 50 minutes to watch it. Let's say it's a 2 hour and 30-minute movie. You can't stop it now. You can't pause it now. They have the power to do that. And you know that because they've taken away the ability for many people to have the one password and one account and then share it with their whole family. They figured out how to stop that. They will figure out how to make their money off the people they want to make their money off of. So if the movie experience is there, you are going to end up paying that money to do it, or you're going to have to watch Nzo Vision.
Danny,
that's the choice that I'm going to make, to watch Nzo Vision or whatever else, because there's been plenty of other things that the government has put on us unnecessarily, and we think it's crazy. You make that decision. All I'm saying to you now is,
but you're never going to get that quality.
You'll get your chance. Let them go. Don't worry.
I'm not like I said in one of my earlier arguments, you watch it in IMAX, I watch it at TV. You hear all the thunder, you feel all the vibration and whatever that does that makes you tingle inside. That's all well and good. But at the end of the day, we still see the same thing. I still see Spider-Man. I still see Jurassic Park. I still see Endgame. I saw it. Just maybe not at the same level or quality of excellence or visual excellence, whatever you want to describe it as. I'll give you that. But at the end of the day, I still saw the exact same movie you saw for less money. To me, that appeals to me. It may not appeal to you, but it appeals to Danny. You has a family of 5, and you have a family of your wife, all as far as I know, and if one of your sons. I got a family of 5, and I have to count pennies sometime and decide what I want to do, this or that. And for someone who is in that particular financial situation, I'm saying practicality goes over the experience.
That's I go with what Poe says right there.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the comments before we get to the next one. You guys are killing it right now. I just wanted to say that. Really good job in the debate, and you guys are both making good points. Something has been lost by not doing movie theaters as much anymore. So the movie experience has been tarnished, though I usually go by myself. A trip can easily be hundreds of dollars or more. What? I do notice my attention is not as good watching at home, though. That's a good point too. I end up rewatching to understand some of it. Some places do. The recliners are becoming more frequent. Who has hundreds of dollars to squander these days? Honestly, you get used to it. Several minutes of previews doesn't help either. It's Wonder Woman 84. I'd forget it too.
I'm just saying.
Prefer to pretend it doesn't exist. Dandelion popped in, and then she said, "Home theaters can both be good experience, just different experiences." Said, I definitely make better nachos. Some movies I really want the experience at the theater. Go ahead, Chris. You were gonna say?
I was just gonna say, when it comes to food, again, maybe it's just where I'm at. Our popcorn's always being freshly popped. They're always doing it when I'm there. And I don't know, movie theater popcorn's like crack, I guess. I don't know. It's just, man, okay. and some of that, the way they do the sodas, just can't match it.
I got you.
It's just, and again, I've been a loyal Stubbs member for AMC for like 30 years. I actually have stock in AMC, so I get all sorts of freebies. I know not everybody does. I don't have to spend that much. So I mean, I get tickets to premieres sometimes weeks before they come out, and I can go if I want. There are ways to get lots of hell of incentives from movie theaters because they want you there. And I would tell you, go online and look it up because there's plenty of ways to get all sorts of cool incentives.
Keep those thoughts. You're gonna have to for the closing and stuff like that. Yeah, we still got a little bit more to go. I know. Mind you, my home experience is usually on my laptop. Yeah, I feel you. I love going to the theaters, but it's not easy to go there. Basel said, "What's up?" She said, "What's up?" Sounds like an experience. Said bye. Everybody's saying bye, and then he said, The way to avoid ignoring experience is to go second weekend or third weekend, but nothing beats the home experience. Said, my place is rarely that packed anymore. Poe said, what's up? Poe said, no new big budget movie experience is like theater experience. I don't have an IMAX or Dolby theater built into my home. They can stop making movies today if they have the money. What's the point anymore? Andrea said, what's up? What's up, Andrea? How you doing? Said, hail to Chris and Danny. And then Poe said, AMC stubs are the best. I have Cinemark since I moved back to Mississippi from Atlanta. All right. So that's it. That's the comments for now. Now we're going to have the question period. And I got a few questions. So my first question will be to Danny. And it's like I said, Danny. So what do you say to people who say it's better, right, to watch the movie in the movie theater than to be at home? Like they prefer to go to the movie theater to see it at home. What do you say to people that say that?
I would say that and I don't want to keep harping on this, but it all depends on the person's financial situation at the time. A lot of things that I used to do when the economy was better, it was easier to do. But now, as a responsible adult and someone that cares about things like credit scores and paying on in a timely fashion, sometime where you could spend that 100 something bucks. Because if I take my family of five to IMAX theater for a movie, it's gonna cost me $125 just to get in there because IMAX where I'm at is $25. My wife, I know for a fact, she is going to get popcorn or die. My grandsons are going to get their candy and popcorn. So I'm looking at close to two bills for the experience. Now the movie may be good. It may be that family experience. We may build a memory, but I'm telling you, when you're the primary breadwinner, you have to make sensible decisions. Now, if you're just someone that if you're single and things are going good, then you might can make these spurges and stuff. But now you have to be sensible, in my opinion, on certain things that you choose. Now, there's certain movies like you both know. If it's Star Wars, Predator that's coming out, the Superman that's coming out. But a lot of us have lost faith in some of these that used to be home run movies. Like these, like I'm very fearful for Fantastic Four. I'm not going to get too deep in it, but based on these last two movies, I'm very fearful. So, do I really want to spend that $25 and drive that extra 50 miles to experience an IMAX when, like in 2002, when this first came out and things were rolling and going? Boom! It was must see. Now there's not a franchise to me that's must see. The movies are very far and few in between, and so I pick and choose movies that I want to spend my money in. And so I say the same thing to anybody ask me. It depends on how bad you want to see the movie. It depends on your financial situation. If it's must see, then of course you're going to make the necessary sacrifices to go see it. But if it's not must see, if it's a movie that's not must see, I'm perfectly fine at waiting in my house the 45 days, or in my case, sometimes it's less than that, to watch something. But one of the main reasons why I go watch movies because I'm on this channel. I'm with y'all guys and we discuss it. But had I not been someone that's on this channel, not a nerd or a geek, so to speak, then I would be like the normies and just wait till it come out on streaming all the time and watch it to come from my own.
One more counter, but part two of the question. Do you think any movie is worth spending $200 for? Like if you're going with your family and everybody. Okay. Okay. Chris, then since Donnie brought up the prices, my question to you is, what do you say to people who say it's too expensive to go to the movies, as Donnie said?
I can't speak to Danny's area where he lives. I understand he has a fairly decent drive to come in, so I can't speak to that. But I know for people living like where I live, there are plenty of options. I have a $1 steak at AMC, and I get 2 free popcorns, 2 free drinks every month, guaranteed. I have stubs at I don't know how much it's like $20-25 a month. I get to see 1 movie free every week at least, maybe 3. I can't remember. I have to go back and look. So I can go, and then my second ticket is 50% off. And sometimes, like, I have 4 free tickets upstairs right now for my family if I want to go see something. I get lots. Wait, well, let me finish real quick.
Yeah, you got it. Don't worry, keep it.
Okay, sorry, but there are lots of incentive programs for many of the reasons Danny has just said. Movie theaters want their money, or the movie business wants their money. They're going to get it from you at home. They're going to get it from you, at the movie theater. I mean, nobody buys movies anymore anyways, because we either have it all digitally or we have movie streaming services to rewatch movies later on. But they're going to get your money from you anyways. But they also know that if they don't make the experience somewhat affordable, that it'll go away. And they still want you there. So if you look online, you can find lots of ways to make it cheaper for yourself. If you can't do things like a theater, there's all drive-ins. And I know drive-ins aren't exactly the same, But now, with a lot of people's stereo systems in their cars, you can get that, and then you get the big screen too. And a lot of those places allow you to bring your own snacks. I know of a couple theaters here in Kansas City that on select weekends, they actually do have family movie nights where they allow you to bring your own snacks, and they won't make you buy it there. There are options. It takes a little homework, but you can do the homework, and you can find a way to make it less expensive. Now, I argue, I'm going to say this, there have been movies I would say are worth $200. I would never not pay to see a Star Wars movie at home first. I would go to the theater at some point in time. And I even say that about The Rise of Skywalker as subpar as it was. It is that experience, the size of it, the visuals. If you'd put that on mute or taken out all the dialogue, I won't say mute, the guns and all that would have been fine. But taking out the dialogue, that movie looked stunning in the theater. It looked stunning. It was all the things I ever wanted out of a Star Wars movie. It was the writing and the dialogue that ruined it. But
right.
I would have never not gone to see that in the movie theater.
Danny, your question.
You said that the current package that you pay now, that you get now, you can see 1 to 3 movies a week.
Yeah, hold on, I can tell you.
And when I do that, Poe said, Quintana. When I was a kid, I remember my pops taking us there. Gas
3 movies every
then,
week,
but it was
at $20 a month.
When I think about it, you said 3 movies a week, $20 a month
for me, and my second ticket's half price.
Okay,
So they
that's
give
for
you
anything.
$132 to $165.
Depending on what the price of the ticket is.
The average price is usually $11. So I'm going at that average. So if you multiply it times 4, that's $132, and sometimes it's a 5th week in a month. So that's ranging between $132 and $165. So you're getting that price for $20 a month.
Oh, now it says now better than ever, 4 movies every week.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm going to tell you exactly what they're banking on. It's the same thing any subscription base is banking on. You're not going to go 4 times a week. That's what they're banking on. Think about it. How many subscriptions do you have? If you have Netflix, if you have this, that, and I'm talking about the average American. I'm not talking about just yourself. Because you and I have like the same TV service.
I got 4 subscriptions, and I watch them just about every day.
Okay. But there are a lot of people who have Walmart Plus, that have Sam's Club, and they don't go. And they forget to cancel these subscriptions. The subscription is not about the people who use it for everything it's worth. The subscription is about the people who forget about it. They're pulling $20 out of the month for every 100 people. Even myself, I might go, if I have time, I might go to 1 or 2 a week. And that's only in rare instances. At best, it's probably 1 or 2, maybe 3 a month.
They better not try that trick where I live at.
Well, it's not that. It's people forget about these subscriptions that they sign up for. Every time you when you go and I'm trying to think of things. Okay, I understand you won't, and I don't. I understand that. But your average person does. Your average person goes whenever you buy something online. Okay, for instance, GoPuff and DoorDash. After you buy something, it pops up a thing and says, "Hey, would you like 3 months of free XM radio?" And you're like, "Well, hell yeah, I'll take 3 months free." Click. Get it, you're listening to it, and the next thing you know, 3 months goes by, you've forgotten that in the fine print, it says we're going to charge you $150 a year to have this service. And then they take it out of your thing, and depending on who you are, you may forget about it. And they have you now for $150 every year, and you're going to forget about it. That's who they're banking on. They're not banking on the people who are paying attention to their subscriptions and paying attention to the fact that they can go 3 times, 4 times a week. That they're going to lose on 10 people. They're going to lose that money on 10 people.
For that Siri thing and any other offers you get that, I'll give you the quick way to get around it. You sign
Yeah.
up and then you
Yeah.
cancel right away, and you
Yeah.
still get your 3 months trial, and
But-
then you don't get billed after that.
But again, I'm thinking of those things. If I go for that, of course I'm gonna cancel it right away. I'm gonna call up the next day. Hey, after that 3 months is over, I don't want to renew, and you're done. But of every 100 people, 90 aren't going to do that, and now they've made $10, $900, $1,000, $2,000, whatever it is, the thing. And think of how many subscription-based services there are in the United States and in Canada these days. Everything's a subscription-based service. Your grocery service from your local grocery store, they'll deliver it to you, or they'll get it ready for you, and you can just text it any time or go on their app and get your thing. Nobody thinks about the amount of cost that these things are, and they may never use these services yet. And they make commercials about it. This is the ridiculous thing about that. They make commercials about that for like Rocket Money. And then you know what? Rocket Money costs you money to find out the services you have that you want to cancel. And then you forget about that one. So it's a racket. And they know that they're going to get 90% of the people. But the people who use it, like myself, I know I can go 4 times a week if I want.
Got you. My next question, I'll give this one to Danny. I think you have, but I'm not 100% sure, but you could tell me that. But if you've seen a movie, right, at home, and you really liked it and decided to go see it in the theater, would you say that's a win for the theater experience? Because I think you have done that, right? Watched a movie at home and said, it's good, I'm going to go see it in the theater. No? Okay, I know I have, right? So I know I have. Okay, so you've never done that. But there are people that have done that. What would you say to that? Do you think those are people who really think that the movie experience is better?
I guess everybody has their own personal, what word I want to use? I guess inclination to be a good. I've heard what you said, but I don't think I've ever done it. I think y'all know me. I'm a little on the cheap side. So, hey, if I see it and I still can comprehend it, whatever. Like I said, but there are certain movies that I'm going to see in the theater. I'm going to see every Star Wars movie in the theater. I'm going to see probably majority of the superhero movies I'm going to see in the theater. But there's some that I'm perfectly fine at waiting. And as you already know, this last superhero movie I was not a fan of. I felt like I wasted my money. But then in the same breath, I went and saw Sinners twice in the same week, in a 7-day period. So I guess it's whatever floats your boat or whatever tickles your fancy that particular time. If they go to the theater, it's definitely going to be a win for the theater, no doubt. But it hasn't been at its peak since 2002. I looked up the number today. It has not come close to 1.5 billion worldwide tickets. Nationwide. And those ticket sales, it also included Canada. I looked to make sure too. It has not gotten back to that 1.5 billion. I don't know if it's ever going to get back to that because streaming is getting stronger. I'm not saying, and I'm never going to say that the experience is better, but I will say it's more practical in some certain demographics. Is what I'll say.
And one more.
Oh, and I just found out. No, go ahead.
Yeah, one more question. If you had seen Sinners at home first, would you have went to the theater to see it?
No, I probably wouldn't, bro.
Okay. 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 No,
I'm telling you right now, I'm probably gonna watch Sinners when it comes on streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna watch it 10 times. I can say that right now.
I got you. Chris, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say I just found out also that I have basically it gives me a free Fandango account, so their streaming service, whatever movies they have on there, I can watch also at home if I want. So, I mean, there's lots of things. Like I said, there's lots of stuff here that I don't really even use. Discount Tuesday ticket savings, $5 rewards for every 5,000 points, and normally if I go to a movie, I make that. Free popcorn on your birthday, free large popcorn every month because I'm an investor. I get, like I said, 2 free large popcorns a month, 2 free drinks.
Read me the stuff the non-investors get.
They get the discount Tuesday ticket. They get $5 for every 5,000 points. Free birthday popcorn, free large popcorn refills at every movie showing.
Once a year, I get a free popcorn.
But you also get free refills. So if you buy one popcorn and the family shares it, you go back and you get the refills.
I know we have something like that here, but I don't think it's as good as you guys get. So that's why I never did it. But now I'm going to look into it because you guys get a lot for that $22.
I'm telling you, I just looked here in the coastal one is Columbia, which is about 45 minutes.
See, and that's the difference. I mean, I'll admit, so I have it better when it comes to a movie experience. I have more options. I have that type of stuff going on.
Yeah, but if I'm saying this, if I had that and I had to just drive a little bit 45 minutes to get there, I probably would do it, right? Danny said no. Okay, so Danny, how far is your theater from you now that you go to?
A whole 10 minutes.
I got you.
And with that, with my jobs and what I do, it wouldn't make sense for me. I couldn't take my grandsons with me if I wanted to go because we don't let them go out during the school night, not that far. Mm-hmm. So it'd be every Saturday or Sunday, whatever I want to. And I go to church on Sundays. And I think certain things I do on Sundays. So I really only have one day a week to do that. Hence, if I had the same options at home, then I could watch that at my leisure. Every afternoon, I could watch a different movie if I wanted to. So, I mean, yeah, and I'm not going to dispute this. Is the movie experience as far as audio and visually better? Most definitely. I'd be a fool to sit here and say that it's not. But at the end of the day, the same movie that Chris is watching in IMAX, I'm watching at home. He's just feeling the vibration and he's looking at it in awe and wonder. And I'm looking at it, eating my cheeseburger and stopping.
I can get a cheeseburger too.
Well, I'm just saying. Well,
keep that thought because I got a question for you on that one, Danny. My question to you, Chris, is how do you feel when you go and see, like, let's say a big blockbuster movie? Forget your tickets and all your bonuses. Yeah. You spent full price to go see this movie and it was garbage. Wouldn't you have preferred to watch it at home?
The closest experience I could come to that, and this is going to make you, I guess I can't count this, but I went to go see Rise of Skywalker, and they messed up on playing it, and I got 4 free tickets to go see it again if I wanted to, and they started it over and played it, so I didn't end up paying for it. It happens a lot here. I don't know how I get that lucky, but I'm going to say this. I thought that Rise of Skywalker was not that great, but I still enjoyed that experience. I have not come across a situation where the movie's been so dog shit that I still didn't like the experience. But then again, I pick and choose when I go.
Okay.
I don't go to everything sometimes because of what I hear.
Okay, so I'm going to counter that one too. Thank you for saying that because now a question popped up. So you talked about the experience, right? You have been going to the movies since you were like 8, whatever, however age. Right?
3.
You don't think that experience has kind of worn off now when it's just going to a movie?
No, because I take a certain pleasure. I take a certain pleasure of going to see a movie. I don't always go to the same place. Like for instance, I saw the second night premiere of Titanic at the Chinese Grand Theater. I spent $100 a ticket for that. Why? Huh. I wanted the experience. I know. Well, it was that and the 2 Hooters girls we went. But that's besides the point. That helped a lot too. But no, I mean, I go to I go to a lot of different movie theaters. I've been to all the themed theaters in LA. I've been to when I go, I make an experience out of that. So I make that and it becomes that. And again, I don't go to every movie. I don't go to every new movie that comes out. And if I can't see it right away, I can't see it right away. I pick and choose. And yes, every time I go, I get that experience. I went to see the 2 new Ghostbusters movies. Why? Because I saw the first 2 in the theater. And we're not talking 16 here, so we're not talking about that. But the actual Ghostbusters movies. I went to see all of those in the theater. the experience was like, yes, I enjoyed every minute, and I'm going with my kids and stuff. I'm enjoying these, and I mean, I have like movie collectibles that I've gotten and stuff.
I'll tell you this: if I spent $100 to go see Titanic, those two Hooter girls better be lashing me up after that movie. I am telling you.
We're not gonna talk about things that stayed where they were at. We're not gonna talk about things. But I'm gonna tell you something though. The Titanic was not the only thing that went down that night.
That better be the case. Danny, here's my question to you now. So you say the movie experience, and you actually kind of like said you can understand that the visuals and the sound effects are always going to be better on the movie, right? But let's say now you have a movie that's specifically made for IMAX. No matter what you do going to watch that at home, you will never get that full IMAX experience. What do you have to say on that?
I would have to say I've never seen IMAX in my 54 years experience. So I don't know what to compare it to.
I thought you said you went to one not too long ago.
No, I don't.
Oh, you still have
Daddy always says he's going to see a movie in IMAX.
You know what? Have you been to an IMAX movie?
Absolutely, all the time.
Okay, my point is that he doesn't know what he's missing. IMAX movies are insane.
Bruh, I get what you're saying. And like I said, let me read this for the third time.
I know.
Is it a better experience? But at the end of the day, I saw the same thing y'all two saw.
No.
Maybe I just experience it. And the screen's a little bit wider, so you can see the car coming a little bit faster, what Nzo said, or whatever, a little bit further away, and you're looking up, and it's loud, and it's boom, boom, boom. Fantastic. I'm not disappointed. But I love to see Star Wars like that. Fantastic. But at the end of the day, I still saw Revenge of the Sith the same way. I saw the same story y'all saw. Y'all just saw it in a better quality, more louder theater, but we still saw the same story. When we talk about
Duel of the Fates will never be the same at home.
Okay, but
I have turned up my surround sound system and tried, and it does not compare.
But I still saw the same thing you saw. You just saw it maybe in a better quality and louder.
You did not see it better. You did not see the same thing.
I get what Danny's saying, because
I know
nothing changed in the movie. I get it, but I do also understand what you're saying too. When you sometimes and because Danny hasn't seen it yet, and Danny, the next time you go, we're gonna revisit. I'm gonna ask you if you think differently, right, about it, because you haven't experienced it yet. So
I'm pretty sure the only movie right now today that I would go see IMAX is Sinners that I've seen. But I'm not saying I won't ever go see, because I'm thinking hard that if the next Star Wars trailer look like I want it to look, then I'll be willing to drive that. But that's far and few in between.
Yeah, how far did you say your closest IMAX is?
About 45, 55 minutes.
Mine is
Let's say, for instance, I would have jumped on this IMAX train like y'all did, and I went to see Thunderbolts. I'd have been upset. I've been ready to fight. I'd have been the angry black man in the theater, and I don't. So I want to make sure when I go spend that $25 and my gas and time that it's worth it. Because one of the first things I ask myself when I walk out of any theater after any movie I go see, did I waste my money? And this one, I felt like I wasted my money, and I'm not in the business of wasting my money.
My closest IMAX is 11 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, and 23.
I'm gonna give you another hot take. I know Chris, and I'm not sure about Nzo. Y'all been to a professional football game, maybe not Super Bowl, but professional football games.
Yeah.
I've never been to one, and I've been to a professional baseball game, and I've been to college back. But I'm telling you right now, unless I'm on the 50-yard line on the sideline watching, I don't have to see it in live and living color. I will see it on my TV. I can see the 2001 replays. If I want to go to the bathroom, I can stop it. I just, if I want to use the bathroom like I know I use the bathroom, I got to walk 200 miles to go to find a bathroom. And definitely, I'm not sitting in no daggone snow. I don't care who out there on the field. That ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? You are not sitting out there. I don't care if the tickets are free. I'm not going out there.
No, I went out to I went to 3 seasons here at Arrowhead, back when the Chiefs were not what they are now. I'll tell you what, I enjoyed it when I was a kid or younger, whatever age I was. And the tickets were free, so that helped too. But they were outside. I don't think I would go today unless it was a box seat and they gave me it. I think that's the only time I go is if it was a box seat and they gave me the ticket. I would not spend the money on it.
A college game is the worst because them kids, they're standing up the whole game and yelling and you can't see nothing. And no, I don't.
See, I don't think that's the same experience as
Gamecock Stadium.
I would totally agree with you. Have you done security there or something?
No, I've been to a game there before.
Oh,
I'm just saying, I've been to college games. I haven't been to a pro game.
Yeah.
Now, basketball game, I've been to the Gamecocks basketball game before.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice, warm. I don't do well with cold. So, like this, y'all love these snow bowls and ice bowls. Nah, I ain't lost nothing.
No, I love them when they're on TV.
I've been to a playoff basketball game. Football was only Canadian Football League, but I went to that game, and I've been to a hockey game and I've been to baseball. So
and I went to a baseball, and that's the most boringest thing on the planet. Oh my God.
It's better now, but I still don't think you like it. I now if we were talking to the sports experience, I could not agree with you more, Danny. Okay. I won't go. My TV is better because the camera, but that's basic. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to bring it up to this point. It is the exact opposite when it comes to movies. It's like watching a football game at home at the movies because it is focused and it is loud and in your face. When you're at the stadium and you're sitting up in the nosebleed section, I mean, you might need binoculars. You can still see the game happening, and then they play the replays up on the screen, but it's not right there like it is at home. The big TV right there. I watch it. They go back. They replay it. They do all that stuff. The movie experience is like that, though. It's right there. It's big and in your face. And I'm inside. I'm comfortable. It's all nice around me. I'm just saying, what you're saying to me is how I feel about the movie experience. When it comes, that's how I feel the movie experience. You're not going to match that. So what you're saying is your home experience.
So you said your home experience in sports is better than live action out there. That's what you're saying.
Because of the way they present it. The presentation of the product is everything. And the presentation of the product in the movie experience is way better than you will ever get at home. That's my point right there.
I got
it's the presentation.
And my last question I have is for you, Danny. So you say you prefer to watch some of these movies at home or whatever, but what do you do to people who will say, well, if you don't see it in the first 2 weeks, you're going to get spoiled on the movie?
See, spoiling don't bother me like some people. Like some people want to go 0 Dark 30 radio, they want to get nothing. You got a buddy of mine, Rob Storm. If you even mention something, that don't bother me because I done seen several. I knew what was going to happen in Thunderbolts. It didn't bother me because you can tell me what it is and I can see what it is, but I'm still going to have that same experience when I see it for myself. Be like, that. So that really don't bother me. There's very few shows that I'd be like, don't tell me. I don't want to know because you can tell me exactly what happened, but telling me ain't like me seeing it for myself and experiencing it in my head.
I agree with that.
That really don't bother me.
Me too. I do
totally
agree
with that.
I agree with you 100% because I had read the whole script to Phantom Menace, not Phantom Menace, Force Awakens when it came out. Yeah, I read the whole script to that one, and then when I went into it, I was like, okay, I still got to see it. You know what I mean? Even though it's like, I know what's gonna happen, I still got to see it.
You remember that time you read that fake one, and Luke Skywalker supposed to be fighting with 20 different lightsabers and all the time stuff, and it didn't happen. I was like, really? Okay. Yeah. So that don't bother me. I hate. And like some guys I'm shooting with, they be like, I don't want to watch nothing but one trailer and a teaser trailer. If they give me 15 different trailers, I'm gonna watch all 15 because I'm gonna go see it. And sometimes it could be fake stuff, sometimes it could be something different. Sometimes it could be prime example. When we saw that Venom 3 and he was cooking all that crazy stuff for Eddie in the kitchen. I think I remember Nzo saying, man, that looks stupid. But when you watch it in the movie, it made sense why he was doing that, because he was trying to cheer him up. But if you just see pieces of it and taken out of context, then you can get the wrong thought process behind it and be like, nah, that's gonna be whack. And actually, you go watch the movie, it makes sense. And you be like, I see why they did that. So,
and it's also the messenger. It's the messenger or something like that, because I think this is for the movie experience or the home experience. That's a possibility. Like I said, you can craft your movie experience around things like not going around the crowds and stuff, and you still have the same risk as what you're talking about for Danny. The difference is that sometimes the mouthpiece giving you the information is giving it to you from a skewed perspective. Yeah. I give you, for instance, Sinners. Anzo, if you were to tell Danny about Sinners, what would you say?
It's trash.
Exactly. That's my point. And you can, okay, wait. But we had another thing the other day. I haven't watched it yet, but you watched it. I don't know if you were trolling or not. You said you weren't. Did you watch The Death of a Unicorn?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay. And what'd you think, Anzo?
It wasn't as bad as Danny said it was, to be honest.
That's my point. It's the mouthpiece. So can somebody give you everything in a movie? Sure, they can. Bruh. But that doesn't mean they're going to give it to you in the perspective you're going to watch it. You might go in and think, holy crap, they said this was crap. This was shit. And then you watch it and you're like, I thought it was good, or I thought it was okay.
I'm gonna start making movies.
Okay, well, I'm just saying. It's the mouthpiece, and that's a risk you take in either the home or TV or movie theater experience.
I got you. All right, so now we're going to get into the closing arguments, and I will say this again: you guys actually did a freaking amazing job. Good job to both of you guys.
I love this idea. I love this debate idea. This is great.
I was at work making notes today.
What do you think, Danny? You enjoy it too?
Oh yeah.
All right. Look. Yes. Hold on, let me bring you up. Danny had his notes. Good.
No, mine's on the computer right here. I have a notepad that's set up for it.
Good. You guys were prepared. I like that. I'm getting mine ready for Chris next week, because I know that one's gonna be a banger.
Is it about Andor? Are we discussing Andor?
100%.
I'm gonna have the popcorn ready, buddy.
I'm thinking I'm gonna lose no matter what, because my opinions of Andor, no matter what you say, it's gonna be excellent. And I know the percentages are very skewed, because you either like it or you don't. So I'll have fun with it. If I lose, I lose, and I'm going to be fine with it, because it doesn't matter, because I like it. So anyways, who's doing closing?
You first, but I said a lot of my arguments are going to be based on, and I didn't fucking see the show, so you know what I mean?
It could be. I started with opening, so wouldn't he start with closing? That way I have the second side?
No, you started, so I want Danny to finish, and then next week, whoever starts, the other person will finish, right? Because you started it with the opening.
Okay. I mean, normally the closing statement would come from the person who opened first, but that's fine. Okay, I'll go. It doesn't matter. Basically, in the end of all of this, watching movies at home, it may be more convenient, but convenience should never replace the quality, the connection, and emotional impact. Again, I didn't really get to it a lot, but in today's world, we live in a society that wants us to close ourselves into our own homes. Everything is based off of that. You can watch movies at home. You can get your food at home. You can order McDonald's at home. You can order beer at home, groceries at home. Everything since COVID has been designed to keep you inside. We are social people. We need to be around other people. We need to be outside in experiences and in situations. I think kind of the reason why the world has gone the way it has is because people have forgotten how to act around people. You know how to act around your kids. You know how to act around your wife. You know how to act around your grandkids and your home people, the people at work. You know how to act around them. That's your bubble. That's your bubble. The human condition is also about the ability to adapt to the things around you. And if you don't let yourself, just like germs, if you don't expose yourself to a certain amount of germs, you can't create the antibodies to be prepared for it. It's the same thing. You need to be around people. We are social people, and we're taking that away every day. And it's a horrible thing. And that impacts your everyday life. It impacts the economy when you don't go. And I'm not talking about just the movie theater business. I'm talking about just going out in public, buying things out in public. These things are going away quickly because we are becoming a socially engineered society that is staying inside because that's what they want us to do. The theater transforms watching your movie into an experience. And again, Danny doesn't understand this because he hasn't seen IMAX. And Poe brought it up. IMAX at the theaters, to compare it to home is like saying you're watching a VHS movie at home. That is the difference. That is the difference in quality. So it isn't even a superior quality. It is a vastly superior quality. It creates sacred space for storytelling. That's where it is. That's why George Lucas made these movies for Star Wars originally. That's why we got Jaws. That's why we got Indiana Jones, because it was made for the movie experience. Because like George Lucas remembered going to the movie theater and seeing serials. It's still the primary purpose people write movies for, is that experience. And it's away from your chores. It's away from your texts and distractions. And I know you can have your phone at a lot of the places, but you don't have to. That's a choice. And if you don't want your kids to, say, hey, put those away. We're going in here. That's your job too. You're the parent. You're the grandparent. You can control that. It brings us together. It keeps the cinemas alive. It nourishes our minds, our emotional health, our well-being in general. And it keeps us out of our house. We don't need to be stuck in our house. For all of those reasons, the traditional movie theater still remains not just the relevant way to see movies, but the essential way to see movies. That's my closing arguments.
And Danny, your closing arguments, you have the floor.
Okay. Like I said, I'm not going to dispute certain points that Mr. Knight made. I definitely believe that, as far as visually and listening to it, auditory, it's definitely the superior experience, but it's not the necessary experience. He made a comment about location. Escapism isn't exclusively tied to a location. It can be wherever you're at. You can tap into your imagination just as the same as you can at home as you can in a theater. Is it nice to go to a theater sometime? It is nice, but is it nice after a long, hard day, you sit in your recliner, you sit on your couch, whatever particular place that you feel most comfortable, and watch that same movie at your own leisure? If you have to get up and go pop some popcorn, you can stop it. If you get an important phone call, you can stop it. If you have to go to the restroom, you can stop it and come back and not miss anything. You cannot have that same experience at the theater. You just can't. It's good in theory, but sometimes I've been there and I had important phone calls. I have to step out and I missed it. I had to use the bathroom, step out and I had to miss it. I'm uninterested. I went and got popcorn in the last theater. And one thing that the theater experience is, it's going to make you feel obligated to sit there and watch a movie that you thoroughly not enjoying because you don't want to waste your money. We live in a time now where the inflation is not matching our salaries for some people. Some people isn't, and I don't want to harp on this, but sometimes it's a financial thing. It depends on the number of people you have in your circle, in your group. For instance, I have 5 people in my group, and if I go there, it is a certain number that I have to pay if I want to watch it. Hold on 1 minute.
Yeah, no problem. I'll get to the comments real quick. Are you good? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but I will say this in closing. If you had a long, stressful day, you're tired, sometimes you don't feel like driving and going to wherever you got to go, be it 10 minutes, 5 minutes, be it regular, be it IMAX, be it 3D, whatever the case is. If you have that opportunity, if you have that particular ability to put in your movie, watch it at the comfort of your home with your wife, with your loved one, that is something that the theater experience can't offer that. It can offer you a certain level of comfortable, but you're going to feel more comfortable at your house than in any theater. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to feel more comfortable where I live at right here in my house eating what I want to eat, not worrying about paying a hand and an arm and a leg for something that I can go right to my refrigerator and get comfortably. Now, some people may like the smell of popcorn better. Some people may like the taste of soda better. That's all well and good, but I'm good with a regular soda that I like that particular theater may not like. I maybe want root beer, but it got Mr. Pibb, and I don't like that. I might be like over red and Barkers, but it got something else. I don't like that. I want nacho cheese like this, but they don't have that. I want a meat lover's pizza. All it got is pepperoni. So when I'm at my house, I can make whatever I want, be it whatever the theater sells or whatever I want. So being comfortable in most cases is more better than the majority of movies that are out there now. We all can agree on this theater that the quality of movies have gone down tremendously. We are very selective. My opponent, Chris Knight, said he's very selective on what he does, on where he goes, on where he spends his money. At home, I don't have to be selective. If I like it, I watch it. If I don't watch it. But if I pay my $25, whatever amount I'm paying, I feel obligated to sit in there because I don't want to waste my hard-earned money. At home, you don't have that problem. If I don't like it, I can cut it off and do something else. You can't do that. If you don't like something and you don't want to waste your money, you need to go back to the desk and pay to go see another movie that you may or may not like. At home, that's not even a thought. So at the end of the day, I will agree with Mr. Knight that the experience may be better, but as far as being practical, as far as being comfortable, the home experience is leaps and bounds better.
Good job. Now I know Chris wants to say something, but there's no more. The closing arguments, nothing else to be said. I'm gonna put the poll up. I'm gonna see what the chat is saying over there. It's basically who gave the best arguments. You guys did a banging job, like really and truly. Your arguments and everything were on point. I appreciate that. I'm going to get to the comments real quick, and then if you guys want to answer to some of the comments, you could do that as well. Can't remember where I left off, but I'll start here. He said, I only sign up for subscriptions that I know I'll enjoy and use. I'll pay for them, but not just any subscription. I got you. But sometimes you get tricked into that, like Chris said. It'll be like, hey, sign up this for free, and then people forget 100%. I keep a track on it. 100%.
Yeah, I agree with that. Chris, he doesn't lie about that. Sometimes I've done that before. Man, where does it come from? And then I go back and research. and guess what I do? Call you. I don't want this no more.
Yeah,
cancel. Cancel right away. And that's the thing. They at least, and I know because that's kind of, I work for a company like that. They know you're going to do it when you catch it. So they try to just make sure that they can get, even if it's that first month, at least they get that one extra.
That's all they want. And, and you think you multiply that by thousands and thousands. It's like,
yeah. If it's a cheap discount theater, it could work. $3 theater, ooh, I don't know about that. Thunderbolts, I'll wait until it's Disney Plus. Still haven't finished the Marvels yet. I don't blame you. I understand larger families and having bonding and movie time at home because I miss Videocom, movie gallery, and Blockbuster. Some movies I can wait to see them at home. I live in the woods. Closest theater is 35 minutes. IMAX is next state. Roll Tide, Tallahassee or whatever, Alabama. 1 hour. Tuscaloosa, thank you. Yeah. 1 hour and 15 minutes away. Drove to see a few movies there. Driving, I love open road. Not an issue for
hour 15 minutes.
Well, see, okay, and I will say I'm not really sure. Again, I think that if you asked around here, people would say going to the movies is still an important thing. You ask people in LA, the same thing. You go outside in the rural areas, yeah. I mean, the gone are the days of smaller towns, like, having their own theater. But even smaller towns that I know that have movie theaters that get new movies, they don't charge that much still. They don't, because they're getting these movies and they want people to come. So again, it's all about being able to look for the deal. You don't go and you pay full price for groceries still, do you? Don't you look for the sales? Don't you look for the deals? Same thing with movies. You can find that the same way as anything else. You don't go buy a car full price because they say it's $45,000. You're going to find that guy you can work with that's going to bring it down to $35,000. So it's the same thing with movies. If you want to find that deal, you'll find that deal. But you prefer it a different way, so that's fine. And you don't look for those deals, so that's fine. But those deals are still there.
I just looked at a deal, and it was an hour away, so I'm good.
Well, I mean, like I said, and then is it worth it to you? Maybe it isn't, and I get that. But for me, it's a different place. I live 11 minutes away from the closest theater.
I'm happy for you. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying we're coming from two different worlds. So
yeah, I get what you're saying too. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. So where was I here? Okay, hold on. Right here.
Yeah, thank you, Roy.
Yeah, I've seen Ghostbusters 2016 theaters. Wish I didn't. IMAX is an experience. I've ever been to the one inside Universal in Florida. I got you. You were the chosen one. It's like watching VHS and 8K quality. Some IMAX screens are 8K, most are 4K.
Well, actually, I think I'm sorry. I'm going to say most IMAX screens now are a minimum of 8K. Some are going up to 12K. They're always ahead of what you're going to get at home.
Yeah. He said, Donnie Broski, try it once, IMAX.
I'm going to try it, but
DQ said,
ain't come to me yet, but I'm going to do it. But
pretty good discussion. Thank you, DQ. Much appreciated. Didn't think it was that great. Control. That's how dystopia starts. Rob said, Donnie just got drinks at a theater last week. What kind of drinks? Like alcohol beverages?
No, yeah, the theater. Hold on, I was on vacation and I went with my son to see Friends for the second time, and they were selling like beer and margaritas and fruited.
You come here, I'll get you a lobster dinner watching a movie, and they'll bring it out to you.
Nah.
Dude, it's a great experience.
I go to
Nobody's going to be in your way because you get two seats that are around a table and they're separated. Dude, like I said, there's places you can go, Chris, that you don't have to bother with people that you don't want to bother with.
I go to watch the movie, not eat and fall asleep.
If you fall asleep with eating, I love that.
If I eat a lobster dinner, I'm going to sleep.
Did you have a drink? Did you have a drink, Danny? Did you take a margarita? No.
Yeah, every one of the theaters around here that I go to has
they don't do that.
Bars. Yeah, but that's my point. It's like you have not been, okay. I mean, again, where I live, it's different because we have that everywhere we go. I mean, I went to.
I'm not knocking it.
No, I know, but like, I went to the premiere, the local premiere night of the Twilight, the last one. Both parts. We went to the first showing here in the Kansas City area, and they had themed drinks. But for I think it was a $30 ticket. We got dinner with it. We got the ticket. We got 2 free drinks. It was like we couldn't have done any better than that. And then we still got it in the movie theater. And I'm not a Twilight fan, but I loved the experience. It was great, and seeing it on the big screen made it better. It's just I don't know. Again, I'm not going to convince you because I understand where you're coming from, and I know I see I know what you're talking about. Man, I'm always missing something when I'm watching a movie first time at home.
Up with the comments here. My 75-inch TV is great. Don't have to worry about people at either. Chris says still not the same thing. Said why pay $40 for one ticket? The IMAX is kind of expensive. I wouldn't say 40. I think it's like 25 here for IMAX. But then you got to understand you got popcorn and all of that too as well. 30 for one IMAX tickets, and people next to me are on their phone the whole time. I tried 4D, so much money for nothing special. Interesting. For 4D me and my wife. Yeah, go ahead. I never tried it.
4D is it's a gimmick. They blow air on you and other things. It's I've done it for some things, but nothing like a movie. It's more like I don't know,
like a ride or some shit.
It works for rides, but not movies.
Yeah. For me and my wife to go to IMAX is $60 just for the tickets, not including gas, food, and etc. And then people on their phones talking, kids crying. Said, "Preach, Danny."
Where does Rob live? I thought Rob lived in a bigger area.
He lives next to Orlando.
What that? There's no way you don't have a theater that does not allow phones to be out. Like I said, I have places here, theaters we can go to that they will come in the middle of the movie and pull people out. And the place, when you go there, you know they're going to do that. So you have to put your phone away. And like I said,
that itself is a distraction.
Yeah, that too.
Not
right.
the way they do it, because I've seen it once, because that place is well known to do it. So therefore, nobody tries it. And like I said, we have one theater. It has 2 screens. And those 2 screens, it's a special experience to go there. It's a smaller theater. They show new movies. It's not as good of an experience as like an IMAX or something. But they make you turn in your phone into a locker. You put a locker. They pay. They don't charge that. Well, I understand that. But if you don't want to be around phones, you can go there and watch a movie and you won't have a phone problem. There's multiple places here that you will not have the phone problem. So I don't get that in a larger area like near Florida or Orlando or something. I cannot believe they don't have a place where you can go and get away from phones.
There will never be an experience like Infinity War, Thor scene, Endgame, or No Way Home like I experienced in IMAX. The whole theater was one-minded, respectful, and cheerful. That's interesting.
And when they all clap at scenes and stuff, it's an experience. It's amazing. Anyway.
Have you never, like, for example, that Thor grabbing the hammer from Endgame or whatever scene. Did you ever think like, I'm glad I seen that in the theater and not like at home?
Every time, and I wait for certain movies.
Danny,
okay.
I know you're
sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Danny.
Yeah.
I like that experience, but guess what? Here at home, I just fast forward to that where he catches Mjolnir, and when he says "Avengers Assemble," I still get those same goosebumps. And like I said, I'm going to continue to say, did it look better in the theater? Yes. Did I like everybody clapping? But right now, if I go and play that right now, I still get those goosebumps when he catches it and Thor says, "I knew it." It's just the actual movie. It is the writing. It is the anticipation. It's the payoff. You still get that same payoff whether you're watching in IMAX or whether you're watching at home. That's what I'm saying.
I completely understand. I understand.
I'm sorry
what Danny is saying.
I'm sorry you don't get as much out of movies as I do. Then I'm sorry that your experience of movies is
sorry, bro,
downtrodden.
I'm not losing one wink of sleep.
Anybody excited for Superman Legacy?
What is that? The upcoming movie?
Yeah,
the Superman movie. Yeah.
Wednesday. I don't know. I'm gonna look at this trailer coming out Wednesday. It's the full trailer Wednesday.
Yeah, it's supposed to come. Yeah,
they're pumping that hard.
Yeah, they're supposed to bring out the trailer Wednesday.
I'm interested. What does Rob think about it? What does he think it's going to be like?
I think Rob is anticipating it. He's liking it. The only person I see that really kill it, boy, is Tyrone Magnus. He is stuck on it like a dead pony, boy.
Man, I don't know what to think. I want to believe it's going to be good, but I think maybe my side of that is that so much is riding on one movie, and what I'm seeing just seems like a weird place to pick it up at.
I'm telling you. I really wish, and I can hear people saying it now. I just wish they'd have gave Henry Cavill one more opportunity. Mm-hmm. This guy may knock it out the box. He may, but I'm telling you, when I look and see how his Clark Kent look, I'm not impressed.
I heard. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, he said favorite theater moment. I'll go first. I have 2. One is when I went to see The Phantom Menace. And I seen, like, it was the first live scene of cosplay at the theater like that. This dude was dressed up as Darth Maul. One looked crappy. I was like, that's crappy. But one guy walks in and you could tell he put in the work. He had the yellow eyes and everything. He did really good. That was a good experience. And then my next experiences was when I went to go take my son to go see Revenge of the Sith. And as soon as the movie started, he started clapping. He had his lightsaber. He had his Darth Vader mask. Those were my favorite moments. What about you, Danny?
Oh, when I saw Darth Maul in that double lightsaber, I've never seen that before. Mm-hmm. That whole fight had me captivated. Even though I think Duel of the Fates is better, but just to see something like that sinister, you never see a double-edged lightsaber, and all the flips and stuff he was doing. And then, of course, Cap catch a moon there, man. I'll never forget that.
Got you, Chris.
I've been to not the first one, but every Star Wars I've been to the premiere night on the night before, like it released here. So like Thursday night. Actually, I went and saw Solo, and I know you guys don't care about that, but Solo I got to see out at Granum Theater in L.A. the day after the main cast had been there for the premiere. So this is the first public premiere night, which is normally when they allow the extras and secondary cast to come. So got to meet a lot of people that had been in that movie. Any Star Wars opening night has just been immensely enjoyable. And I was going to bring up a point about how I feel about Superman. I heard it today, and you guys aren't baseball fans, but I heard it today. We got a guy in the Kansas City Royals minor leagues that everybody is waiting to come up to the major leagues. And they said, I'd prefer the guy stay. The radio announcer today was like, I'd prefer the guy stay down this year, stay down in the minors this year, because he hasn't had a major league bat. And there's nothing worse than coming up and everybody expecting you to be the savior of the franchise. That's how I feel right now. Superman is. The Superman movie is the minor league player. An unknown actor, unknown director for this particular thing. I know he's directed superhero movies. I know he says he's a big movie superhero guy. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of unknowns. And what DC is expecting them to do is knock it out of the park. And that pressure is on everybody involved in that. And if it has one slight misstep or enough people who just say, it wasn't all that great, it's dead in the water. And that's not necessarily fair to the movie itself. But that's what's on the line for this, because they mothballed everything else. And I'm not saying that wasn't the right choice, but they mothballed everything else and said, we're going to start over. Every time DC starts over, it just can't help but trip over itself.
One thing I think is going to hurt it is not strategically placed. There is no way in the world I would place this movie 2 weeks behind Jurassic Park.
I agree. I agree. And then you have the Fantastic Four coming out too before
the Fantastic Four. I say, let me move to August. Yeah. And if I was Superman, I move maybe to September, Labor Day or something like that.
I agree.
Jurassic Park is too strong, in my opinion. And I could be totally wrong.
No, yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know. You see it in a lot of movies where it's released. There's been lots of movies in the past, but after they've been out 10, 15 years, people are like, it's not that bad of a movie. I don't remember it being this good or this strong of a movie. And then you start thinking about, oh wait, that's right. I went against Batman '89. Dick Tracy was killed by Batman '89. People think, it's going to be really tough for it. I hope it works. I love the DC universe. I love the characters of the DC. I want to see a really good Batman movie. But then again, even the stuff I hear about the Batman movie, I'm like, what? They're going to pull, who are they doing? Robin?
Matt Reeves is sick, I think. That's why he's off of it. But I heard it kicking around, like getting another director. I'm not sure who it is.
I don't know.
I'll tell you a movie I really enjoyed too. I know y'all don't think y'all like it as much, but Godzilla versus Kong. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
right.
It
wasn't visually. Now I would like to see that in. I might go see that in IMAX just because it was visually pleasing.
Mm-hmm. See, which I did see. I did see it in IMAX. It wasn't bad too. And I think the trailer for the new one is coming up. But let me get these comics because I gotta bounce. I got one more thing I want to show you guys. I didn't enjoy 4D Godzilla one experience. I seen a guy get thrown out of his seat. I had to shit after the movie was over. Never again. Too much information. Testify, Danny. Testify. Superman, meh, I'll watch it. Savior of the Royals, that would take a big miracle. And
hey, we're doing
bad.
Good. That's what I'm saying. Dick Tracy wasn't bad, but the movies it went up against, it couldn't win.
Destroyed it.
Yeah, it's just, that's the thing. It's not bad. When you go back and watch it, you're like, oh, okay, this is nice. But it's all about your placement.
I have a trailer that I want to show real quick before we go. I don't know if you guys seen it, but so and hey, listen, man, if this is a fake fan trailer, I get it, but I don't know. It says Spike Lee joint, but let's check it out.
There's more to life
24.
than just making money. It's integrity. There's what you stand for. It's what you actually believe in. Hey, man! You believe in yourself. Revenge. You believe you'll be successful. You're the man. And the hard times will come from the good times. The hard times will come from success. The hard times will come from the money, and the mayhem follows. So can you handle the mayhem? Can you handle the money? Can you handle the success? Can you handle the failure? Can you handle the lovers? Can you handle the memes? Can you handle everything that there is in between? That's the question I have for you. Got to get ready. Can you handle it? Got a big payback. All money ain't good money.
What do you think?
It's
I'm
real.
there if it's real.
It is.
I think it is real. I think it is.
Yeah,
real.
right here, highest to lowest. When a Titan music mogul is targeted with ransom plot, he is jammed up in a life or death moral dilemma. A reinterpretation of Akira Kurosawa's crime thriller. Ooh, high and low. Ooh, that might be really.
They definitely
freaking
got
good.
the right cast. Cause that's what boy that
Yeah.
played Commissioner Gordon in Batman.
Yeah, the cast
Yeah, I
is
know.
really good. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna see that. Comes in theater. That's a day one thing. Support Spike Lee. I still like his movies.
Now you see. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Finish.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so like that type of a movie, I'm not going to see that in IMAX. I don't think it's going to matter much in IMAX.
I want to see
So that's the other thing is picking and choosing what should be in IMAX. I think any superhero movie needs to be IMAX, but like those types of crime or some thriller or horror movies.
It's okay, Chris. The debate's over.
No,
and by
I'm
the
just
chat
pointing
poll,
out. Yeah.
and by the chat poll, again, we only had 4 people that voted, but they voted Chris, Danny.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
What? 3-1? There's only.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. We had a few people coming in here 13, 14, but I guess they didn't stay to vote, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
I will say this: you can get a lot of good experience, and I watch a lot of movies at home still. I don't discount that. 85-inch TV. I got that in my room. It's against the wall. My wife and I sit in bed and we'll watch whatever. I mean, it's great. Porn on it's excellent.
So I want to say
I'm fucking with you. I wanted that.
You know what? I haven't watched porn on my 85-inch yet. I think that's
Whole
a
new
weekend
experience,
thing.
man. The camera angles mean everything.
Wow.
I think that's a weekend thing. Wifey, pouring onto the TV tonight. Good try. Full screen that motherfucker.
I had to bring it up.
Thank you guys for the debate. You guys did a great job. I really appreciate it.
I loved it.
Chris, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Real Review 3000 is my channel. We're done with the Masked Singer for this season. It's not going to be back till January next year, so there's a bit of a gap. Dude, I told you, I don't believe that it's an actual vote because as soon as Mad Scientist Monster was off, and then when Boogie Woogie, I told you when you said Boogie Woogie is going to win, I said he should, but he didn't. And
I don't like the fact that they don't let nobody vote, but the panel and the people in the audience.
That's why I said I don't. So I get emails about how to become a part of the audience. There's all sorts of rules they send you. You can't talk about it, so I couldn't do my show, things like that. But everything I read about it really makes me think that it's based off of the best time for the person to leave. So like if they've got a world tour coming up and that world tour will end or start on the third week that particular episode airs, they'll vote them off then. So the most exposure on that person happens right when their world tour is taken off. And more often than not, that's how it works. So it's always really interesting how they get voted off. And again, I agree with you. Once Mad Scientist Monster was off, it should have been Boogie Woogie, but it wasn't. I don't know. Anyways, the Rumble's coming back. Weekly wrap up. Gospel According to Chris. Name That Tune. All those shows will be coming back next week. Rule of 3 here on Monday. at 9 Eastern. I'm gonna try to have everything ready to finalize the fact or fiction for that group, and then have a new set to start over from scratch. And as Nzo knows, it's probably gonna be me or him that wins that, because Danny was like at least 50 or 60 behind us. Yeah, I mean, it was way behind us. Danny's pulling out his notes. Let's see here.
Danny,
Anyways,
tell the viewer they can find you, Danny.
My channel on Mondays and Fridays at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You also can find me here on Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Hangout, 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. And last but not least, Storms Live at 8 p.m. on Sundays. Fantastic show.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
man. I appreciate it. I got to run over, guys, to the Spoiler Kings right now. We're going to be talking about The Last of Us, so make sure to check us out there. Tomorrow night will be From, Wednesday OOC, Thursday will be Dead City.
Ooh, you sound like your old self, boy.
I know, bro. I know.
I don't want none of that smoke.
You know what's funny? I can't wait for one of these shows to end so I can knock something off the list right now, because it's Monday, Tuesday.
It's
Wednesday.
good though.
Yeah.
I like the fact that we're all getting back to this stuff. I mean, we don't have to do it every week,
not every
day,
not every night.
but it's good to be back. It's good to be back into all this. It's good to
but I've been every night for a minute now, so I'm like, you know what I mean? It's
fun times.
It's getting to the point. But guys, we'll see you on the next one. Peace, love, and hair grease. We out.
I am inevitable.